Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ultimus553 here, and today I'm doing review number 19, and I'm going to be reviewing Captain America: The Winter Soldier, sequel to Captain America: The First Avenger, and the third movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as the ninth Marvel movie overall.
So, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's, of course, a sequel to the first one, the first Avenger. I liked how this one portrayed the character a lot more than the first one in terms of dealing with the modern world, because that's kind of the plot of the movie. The plot is you have Captain America coming out of in the first movie. He came, to the Avengers. He um, is in frozen ice and for 7 years, and that's what happens. And then he wakes up, and he's in the modern world. He's in New York City, and he has to deal with that. And that's how the Avengers comes up, kind of like so. Yeah, so he has to embrace his role in the modern world. It's somewhat hard, but he does get used to it after a while. Um, there's a lot I like about this movie. The one thing that I kind of was confused about, but I kind of know why they're doing it, is the Black Widow thing. So, I don't read the comics, like I said before, many times. I think you already know that. But apparently in the comics, and also the video game too, where I think she was in the Spidey Web of Shadows, one of the Spider-Man games. She's actually Russian. Because Black Widow herself is actually a Russian spy, even though she doesn't speak Russian or have a Russian accent. She's still Russian. I mean, obviously she's using American accent, but I guess because in Iron Man 2, she appears in Iron Man 2 with curly red hair, and actually, well, before she decides to reveal herself as Natasha Romanoff, she has um, wavy red hair, and then she curls it, I guess, and it becomes curly red hair or something, and that's Black Widow right there. Um, and then the Avengers, she has shorter hair, shorter curly, I mean, kind of short curled waved hair. I don't even know what the hairstyle is. Like the short hairstyle. And then you have Winter Soldier here. Um, and then she has long red straight hair, which is a little odd. I mean, by red I mean actual red, like not what people call red hair, orange hair. It's supposed to be orange hair. I'm just gonna call it that because it is actually orange hair. So yeah, I'm guessing the reason why this happened is because she's in disguise and she's like trying to like cover up herself, and she'll like decide to change her hairstyle and stuff like that. I don't even know what the deal is with that, but I guess it has something to do with the character that she um, is that she's a Russian spy, so a Russian assassin slash spy who, that's one of the reasons why, that's one of the, kind of the reasons why she does that, is because she can, like, I guess, blend in, so she changes her hairstyle, I guess. I don't even know what the deal with that is. Um, but it definitely was a really amazing movie. It had one plot point that I didn't really understand, and I still don't understand, even while we're watching Agents of Shield, and that is the fall of Shield, apparently. So this actually, Hydra, which was the bad people of it's an evil corrupt organization bent on world domination, basically. And they're known as Hydra, and and so that was part of that was like that was the big baddies of um, the first movie, the first Avenger. It's Hydra, and led by Schmidt, I think. Yeah, Schmidt was the creator of Hydra. Um, hence the catchphrase "Hail Hydra," I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty much a organization that was derived from World War II, and they basically, I guess, they've reintegrated into a modern thing. They're long running, I guess. But basically, because Shield is a peacekeeping organization, um, Hydra is the opposite. And I guess what happened, I mean, I don't really understand it. I still don't really understand it, but I'm guessing the idea of this whole plot is that um, Hydra somehow got into Shield and made a corruption thing. So that's probably why it happened. Is that they basically went into Shield and corrupted it so that it became compromised, so that Shield would never exist. Like I guess they get the upper hand or something, and Shield collapsed or something because Hydra basically corrupts the big thing. Um, Something happens with Hydra, or something happens to Shield that Hydra is causes the in other words, so I'm kind of going off track here. I'm trying to explain it better. Basically, I guess Hydra, the evil organization from the first movie, which is in this movie too, um, it basically corrupts Shield. So basically, I guess this thing going on with Hydra and Shield, and suddenly now Shield is like compromised. The organization itself is shut down. Yeah, that's the word. But basically, I guess what the idea is that because Hydra is a just is bad people in this term, they basically I guess shut down Shield basically, which is another word for compromise. Shut down. Um, I'm just guessing, but I'm guessing that's the idea because that's the only real reason what would happen in this movie. Um, it had a couple of members from the Avengers that were in this movie, at least cast members. Um, you have Rhea Hill, who is played by Chloe Smulders. You have Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Nick Fury. Tim Cass from Chris Evans, Captain America. Um, you got Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff or Black Widow. And you have a new character called Sam Wilson. Um, he's also known as as a Falcon or the Falcon. I don't even know. I think it's just Falcon or Falcon. I don't know. But he's a new character introduced in this movie, and he's eventually he basically becomes Captain America's new best friend. Uh, There's actually a really funny moment in the beginning of the movie when just before Captain America or Steve Rogers in this case, because honestly, I wouldn't really call him Captain America when he's not wearing his uniform. In my opinion, I just call him Steve Rogers when he's not wearing his uniform. When he's wearing his uniform, Captain America right there. Um, Even though um, in the next movie, The War, uh, Batman or Scott Lang comments the fact that he's Captain America and not wearing a uniform. Anyway, I'll get to that in that review. But yeah, so Steve Rogers, before he meets Sam Wilson, who's this African American superhero, the first African American, well, technically the second because Rhodey Rhodes or War Machine is technically the first African American / black superhero because he had the same technology as Tony Stark and that same kind of idea. Um, but yeah, so he just before meeting him, um, they're kind of ready to say they're kind of working out. They're running. It's pretty late in the day. I think it was pretty late in the day. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember a lot of it, which is a lot of people do these reviews. So anyway, yeah. So so running because Captain America is pretty fast. I mean, not as fast as the Flash or anything like that, but he's pretty fast. He's running, and then of course, Sam Wilson is in his fast, he's running his normal. And then Steve Rogers is just kind of like, and every time he's like, on the left, he's like, okay, on the left, and then he comes around, and he's like, on your left, okay, on your left, and then And then Steve Olsen actually expects him. He's like, no, 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 no. And then Steve Rogers is like, my left, your left, and he's like, no. And then they meet, and he's like, and then just they know each other, or they don't know each other. They meet, they introduce themselves, and it's pretty cool. And then Natasha Romanoff on Black Widow stops by and I think asks directions to the museum or something, and one of them gets in. And there's actually a really funny moment in the movie that I just loved. And where Steve Rogers is opening a little, I guess, notebook, a little mini notebook, and he's looking at all of this stuff he got to catch up on because considering he had to go for all that sleep, 7 years of sleep because he went into the ice, and so I guess the 40s to 7 years, that's like a lot of time right there. Um, so he basically has his list of things to catch up on, like Star Trek and Star Wars, all this stuff to catch up on. And some of it is actually really fun, like, oh my gosh, things that are obviously popular now. Things that just are back in the olden days, things that he couldn't catch up on. But yeah, a lot of it is just some of it's actually my favorite scene in the movie where he looks at all this all this catch up stuff. And it's like, wow, that good luck with that. Because that's like 7 years worth of stuff to catch up on. That's gonna be to be. That was really funny. But yeah, and then so the movie is basically the promise of the movie basically is the plot. The reason why it's called the Winter Soldier is because there's a new enemy that Captain America has to fight called the Winter Soldier, and it's actually Steve Rogers' old buddy from World War II from the first movie, Bucky Barnes. And he basically, because in the first movie, he's kicked off. He's I guess sent to his death from a train thing in the first movie. And then you see him like punch to his death, and like, oh my, and then Steve like, oh no, he's like sad. He's like, fuck it, no, whatever. Um, and so what happens next is that in this movie, you see Bucky has come back from the dead, like come back from the dead because we didn't know if he was dead or not. We assumed he's dead. In the movie. Um, so it turns out that he's been brainwashed as a soldier for I guess the war, or although I think he's brainwashed for Hydra. Eventually he turns back to he comes to Steve's side later. Um, but in this movie he is a brainwashed soldier, taking on the name of the Winter Soldier because I actually don't know why he's called the Winter Soldier. I guess he just I never really thought about that. I don't know why he's called the Winter Soldier. I guess it's just what they call him because he's a soldier. Um, but yeah, and so he has and what's cool about this character is that this new alias, the Winter Soldier, he has a metal arm, which is has a little. I think it's supposed to have has a star in it. I don't know what the source from. It has a metal armor. And it's actually really powerful. I mean, I have read the comics like I said before, many times I said before, but I do know that part. And so the one great part of the movie is where Steve sees Bucky, and he's like, Bucky, like he recognizes Bucky, and Bucky's like, he doesn't even know who he is. He's like, who the hell's Bucky? Because he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't remember because he's pretty brainwashed. So he doesn't remember any of it, any of the times he had with Steve Rogers at all. And so he just like, who are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Who's Bucky? Um, and so that's a big part because the big part is reuniting with his old war buddy from the first movie, and there's a whole big battle. Um, there's also partly the reason why Captain America's shield is basically inked out in that words. Basically meaning all the color of the shield is basically gone because that's on the posters had it, um, which is pretty cool, I gotta say. Um, and so also this is a point in early in the movie you have I think it's Hydra attacking Nick Fury's car, and apparently they damage it to the extent that it actually hits him, and so So Nick Fury apparently dies, um, and so he they have this whole thing about like time of death where actually he supposedly does, and then later in the movie he actually they find out he's actually in this area and alive because I guess something happened. I can't actually remember what happened, but something happened and he's actually alive in this movie, um, which is pretty awesome. Another part of the movie that I did not like, and that's only one thing I didn't like about the movie, and that is Captain America's uniform in this movie. So in this movie, because it's more centered on Shield, the kind of stuff that Shield what Shield is basically, and so Shield issues him a exclusive uniform so that he can wear during his time with Shield. I don't like about this idea about this design. I mean, it's the same basic idea. You got the star, you got the shield, but you have this idea of this white stuff. It's kind of like the same color as the star, and then you have this bottom area where the red of the uniform that he wore the red was going in his comic book uniform. Um, that's I mean, it's either a really dark red or a dark blue, but I don't like that because he doesn't look. I mean, he's still Captain America, but I just don't like it. I don't know. I like having the red, white, and blue. I mean, yeah, you have the red, white, and blue on the shield, but when you have the uniform, it looks better that way. Um, I just don't know why. Because in the first movie, he has that, and it does look good. It's more comic book esque. But in this movie, he had this really. I just didn't like it. I did not like it. I don't know why, but I just did not like it. It was not a very uniform. I just didn't. I don't know why. I mean, I like the change to it. It's the first uniform that he can actually put on his back because there's some straps. There's straps on the uniform that he can just put a shield on, which is pretty awesome. Um, but I did not like this uniform. It's something about it. It just looks ugly. I mean, my friend, the gun guy, he does not agree. He actually has to say one opinion. It's all about opinion, you know. But that's just my opinion. I didn't like it. That's really what I didn't like. It had some pretty good casting. It had some cool technology. Had Robert Redford in it. There's actually a really cool scene between Robert Redford's character and Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury's character. Then that's a reference to Iron Man, Tony Stark. There's a scene where Nick Fury is talking to I can't remember the name of Redford's character. He's a he's a recognizable actor. Um, but there's a scene between those two characters where he's talking about I think it's asking Nick Fury if you can send a message to Tony Stark um, having the fact that his daughter I think wants Iron Man at a birthday party. I think it's his son. I don't know. But I was just a really cool nod to Tony Stark. Like, oh my gosh, that's funny. It's like and my daughter wants Iron Man at a birthday party. Like that. Like, wow, that's cute. I did like the cool face recognition somewhat, because there's a scene towards the towards the end, kind of like the mid section of the end, where you have the old British lady, um, but apparently there's like this recognition software that takes off her, she goes away and turns out to be Black Widow in disguise or after Romanoff in disguise. That's pretty cool. It's kind of it's really the futurish. It's kind of futuristic. I like the movies that are futuristic. It's really awesome. Um, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that part. Yeah. Um, there was a lot in the movie I liked about it. There's a really cool. I mean, the chase scenes were pretty awesome. The acting was pretty good in this movie. It was really well done. Yeah. Um, there was actually a scene where a Hydra, I think, agent, I think it's agent, yeah. Hydra soldier, I think it's soldier. Hydra soldier is in a van or something, and I think they're wrestling Captain America and Black Widow, I think, and I think maybe even Sam Wilson, Falcon. And so it turns out that in the van they are in, um, Marie Hill, um, like like knocked two guards out, and she took off her like helmet, and it turned out to be like um, turned out to be not I just told you but Maria Hill in disguise. And she's like, it's really hot in there, or something like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. There's also a scene where Captain America and Black Widow need to really low because they thought Eagle was trying to kill them or something like that. And so they go to Sam Wilson's house and they're like, we need some place to lay low. As far as we know, everyone trying to kill us. Um, and then he's like, not everyone. And then he comes in, and and they had a little discussion about what's next. And there's actually a little line that I love, where it's Black Widow and Captain America talking together, or in this case, not out of character, sort of out of superhero character, Steve Rogers and Natasha Romanoff. And then so Sam Wilson they're talking, and then Sam Wilson comes through and is like, I made breakfast. That's me. You guys eat. It was like really funny. Um, so yeah. Let's see what else. There's really good moments in the movie that I love. Also the scene in the elevator where it's Captain America. He's like, before we start, does anyone want to get out? And then everyone starts fighting, and then that was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, there's not a lot else I can think of. I'm trying to think. I mean, it was really a lot to it. There's a lot of action scenes I loved about it. A lot in it. There's a whole thing about with Bucky, where he he's like, where he actually fights Bucky, and that's like crazy. And there's actually a scene in the movie where he tosses his shield, and Bucky catches it. He's like you can see, so you can't easily imagine like in the match or something. It's really awesome. That was pretty awesome, I have to admit. It really was. There's actually a scene where he's not in his Shield uniform because Shield basically shut down and they're all after Captain America for some reason. And he's like, if you're gonna fight a war, you gotta wear a uniform. And then you have a scene and this is a really good Stanley cameo. I mean, not one of the best ones, but a really good one, where Stanley comes in as a security guard and sees the museum with the Captain America museum, and then you have the Captain America mannequin without its uniform on, and you have you have the original shield, not the round one, the original shield on it, and he's like, Stanley's like, oh man, I am so fired. That was awesome. And then the uniform that he wears is not actually from the first movie. It's a variation. I mean, it's similar, but it's not exactly the same. I learned that the hard way. I thought that actually was the same uniform, but no, it's not. It's a similar uniform, but he's actually done some little kinks to it. He's kind of changed that up a bit, which is pretty awesome. There's a lot of scenes to it that I loved. There's a whole thing with the very end of it where you have. I mean, I mean, before wait, there's actually there's a scene where I think a good scene in the movie was where you have Falcon trying out Falcon for the first time ever like going at it, and it's just so awesome. That was a great scene, like just like flying around, good scene for the first time flying around. That was epic. I mean, that was really epic. There's also a scene. It's kind of the climax of the movie where he's like, do you remember me? I'm I'm your friend, Steve Rogers. He's like, shut up or something. Like, I don't remember. I don't know you or anything like that because he's brainwashed. And that was just like sad. Like, wow, he's trying to do his buddy remember, but he does not even remember. That's just like sad. What do you expect? um, but yeah, it was a good movie. I really liked it. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to figure out anything else I remember that movie that I loved. There's not much else. Apparently, Rumlow, who appears in the next movie, Civil War, he's in this movie actually. And at the very end of the movie, I think there's a scene where he's on after I guess he's defeated or something. Um, he's on this like stretcher and he has I think it's these belts over him, but they're like fists, like crossbones, and that's a character called Crossbones. That he's actually that's his character Crossbones. He actually appears in Civil War, which I'll talk about, which I'll be doing a review on pretty soon here. Film Weeks. Um, so yeah. Anything else I could think of that was pretty cool? Oh my god, there's a lot in this movie that was good. I like the end credit scene. That was good because it sets up for the next Avengers movie, and that was awesome. Um, there's a scene at the very end of the movie where they're talking about something that has to do with I think it has something to do with the next movie, Avengers Ultron. I don't even know. But there's a scene with, and I think they're talking about the twins, and you have for the first time, two new heroes that are going to be in the movie, in the next movie. And Quicksilver, it was this version of Quicksilver, and then Scarlet Witch, who's kind of just like levitating stuff, like she's basically levitating blocks with Hermione powers. And then Quicksilver is he's kind of trying to escape, like he's kind of like trying to like get out. He's just like having a seizure or something. He's like trying to get out of something. It's really crazy. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot in this movie I love. There's a lot kind of features of technology that was really good. Um, there's not else I can say for the movie. It was good. I mean, it was really good. It is um, the Winter Soldier was great. But honestly, I think the first movie was better, but I liked it. I mean, this was just it was good because he's trying to stay in the modern world. He's struggling to stay in it. He's trying to figure out how to do that. There's also a really good scene where you have they're in hiding. Steve Rogers and Natasha Romanoff are hiding, and there's a scene where they actually see Rumlow, who's kind of in a way the villain. Yeah, he's basically the villain of the story. He's like the sub villain of the story of the plot, and they don't want Rumlow to see him. To see them, so Natasha's like, kiss me. He's like, what? If if they don't see us, they won't, or whatever about that, and then they kiss or something. Um, and then later in the car, she asks him, "Was that your first kiss since 1945?" Or something like that, and then he's like, "No, that was not my first kiss since 1945." I don't know. Okay, yeah, cool, because it's Peggy Carter, which is pretty funny. I guess I'm not supposed to nod to his first kiss with that. Um, there's actually emotional scene where Captain America visits Peggy Carter. There's an age version of Peggy Carter. And how this happened was um, because the actress who plays Peggy Carter, Haley Atwell, was still young. They had to digitally age her, so she refused to put on prosthetics. They literally had to digitally age her, which actually it's kind of creepy actually. The way because one thing the way that when I see movies, it's just like the way they do it when they digitally age someone, it's just like it's kind of creepy a little bit. But it works, I guess. Anyway, so yeah. Um, there's also a really crazy thing where they actually uncover I think it's a Hydra base, and they actually it's actually the SSR where Peggy Carter that's where how she became in the list was Peggy Carter. Um, and so they go a little base and they find um, a I guess it's supposed to be like an audio recording or a live recording or something like that of I guess it's like a preserved version of Arnim Zola from the first movie, the first Avenger, who's basically the right hand man of Schmitz, who was Red Skull in that movie. Um, and they find out about what happened or something like that. I can't actually remember what happened, but they find out a whole bunch of things that happened. It's just crazy, like it really is. It's just crazy. Um, but yeah, then there's also a little thing before that he goes into the base. He actually there's a flashback where he sees his younger self walk by, and then he like it's like Roger, Roger's her, and it's just like wow, it takes it back. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of things. I think the Bucky scene between him between Captain America and Bucky was just oh my gosh, it's just crazy because you have him. He's actually because he has to fight his friend, his best friend. He's to fight his best friend. I mean, not that someone who's not his best friend, but he's his best friend. But like seriously, it's crazy. He has to fight his best friend. I mean, that's if I had to fight my best friend, that'd be bad. I mean, I have a lot of best friends, but if I had to fight my best friend, I would not want to do that. And he has to fight best friend because he's brainwashed. So he's like snapping out of it, say this is me. Um, you know me. He's I no I don't, or something like that. I mean, that's just emotional. Like wow, like that is horrible. But I had to go through that. But yeah, that's all I can say about the movie. That's all I can really think of that I like about it. I mean, like I said before, the only thing I didn't like about it was the whole uniform change. I did like seeing a kind of a modified version of the original uniform from the first movie. I did like that. Uh, but yeah, so that's the only thing I didn't like about the uniform was just just the uniform. The rest were pretty good. I was a little weird seeing Widow, Black Widow with a new hairstyle. But I'm guessing that's like I said earlier. I'm guessing that's just the way she ups her character, and she just kind of like operates like that. She just changes her hairstyle when she needs to go undercover or something like that. I don't even know what the deal with that is. Or just spy or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I've been going on for quite a little bit too long. Sorry about that. I have a lot to say when I come to this reviews. Just like Big Gun, just like that Big Gun guy. Another one of my friends. He does reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode of review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. That's all I can say about the movie. Um, if I'd rate it, I'd give it I'd say 8 out of 10 because of the uniform. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I just have to. It's not about what I like about it, but it's the only thing I didn't like about it was the uniform. So yeah, 8 out of 10. So yeah, like I said before, thank you for watching this episode of review. If you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as always. Um, and yeah, I will see you next week for the next review, which will be Avengers: Age of Ultron. So yeah, that'll be really nice long review. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you next time. All right, see ya.